Hi, this is Quant. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to brainstorm together with you the ways quantitative traders can use ChatGPT to become better traders, to trade better, and so on. So here I have the newest ChatGPT of one preview, and I end up with like about 5 different ways quantitative traders can use ChatGPT, and I will show you in this video all 5 of them. So first one for me is just kind of education. ChatGPT is really good to teach you some stuff. So for example, what you can ask like, what are the good indicators to like measure trend? And it should be able to kind of think a bit and end up for you with a nice summary of all kind of technical indicators, and it will write you like a nice summary that you can actually look and see. So it goes, and you can see that it actually end up with some suggestions for you, so all the basic stuff. But you can, for every one of them, you can go into details, copy some of this stuff you don't understand, ask him to explain it better, and so on. So it's actually, I think, pretty useful. You can go a bit in detail, since asking like, okay, what is the good indicator to avoid choppy markets, right? And you should be able to understand kind of your problem, specific problem you have with the current trading, and then it will end up with you for use for some interesting kind of indicators. And it takes for a one preview a couple of seconds to end up with it, but for me, actually quality is much better than it was for like ChatGPT 4, so I like it a lot. So here you can see there's some kind of useful indicators to avoid choppy markets. Well, from kind of very top level analysis, top level view, for me, I think it makes sense, and there are quite a lot of them, so actually you can go and explore stuff like that quite well. So I think it's really good for education. You can just use it freely. The next case, the second case for me, is that you can also ask it for some information, right? So information can be, quite different. With this one, you need to be a bit careful because it can hallucinate still. So just go and check this kind of information. So you can ask simple stuff like, what is correlation between S&P index and Nasdaq, right? You should have all this information somewhere in the database, and it will end up with you with some approximate number, and I think it should be fine, but it's better to check it, right? So you can see that well, it said approximately, but it understand that they're highly correlated. It should be correlation between like 0.8 and 0.9. So if you need like a quick response and you don't want to go and write the code to analyze it, I think it can be pretty useful. And I think it can do a bit more complicated things. You can ask it like, okay, what was the top 5 drawdowns in S&P index, make a table from it, from them, right? So, and here it should go and find all the drop downs and end up with table with some descriptions. And for me, this in point 4 and version 4, it actually was wrong for some time. So here we just need to understand, we need to check that actually this is better. So as you can see, it ended up with a pretty nice table, and you have some summary here. So what caused it, what was the decline, what was the duration for this drop down, and here we have a bit more detail. So I think it looks pretty good. If it's actually correct fully, I don't know. We need to kind of fact check it, but as you can see, it outputted you kind of quite a lot of information. So I think it can be quite useful for quantitative traders to just get information quickly without you going and write the code. So it can be quite useful. Another obvious way ChatGPT can help you is to write the code for you. I already explored this in my previous video, but you can ask it to write some quantitative related code, and like this O1 version it's actually much better than version 4, and it should write really good code in Python. In PineScript it became much better. Still not ideal, still we have some errors and so on, but in general it's quite impressive the progress that they made. So you actually can start to write the code, and you can ask like, okay, write me a Python function to calculate Sharpe ratio. So it should be able to do that without much problems. It will think for a bit. So this overall version is much advanced and actually have kind of thinking process. And I think after that, it actually end up with solution and try to check it itself. So here we have some, small function in Python that actually output us a result. So here we have some risk-free rate. So I think that, well, it should be more or less correct. And also it wrote us like some examples of how we can run this. So it seems to work, quite well. And the same for PineScript. You can ask it to write you some pretty advanced, PineScript indicators. You have to check them still, but it can be pretty good. Let's, for example, ask it to write me simple moving average crossing strategy with additional filter on MACD for long MACD to be above 0, for short below 0. Let's see if it will be able to understand what I mean here and write like the script that actually works. I didn't specify that I want this in PineScript, so it actually created me a version in Python, but I think, well, it might be correct, but I'm not 100% sure. We need just to check it. But I think it's quite impressive. You can use it also to learn how to code, and with this O1 preview version, it become kind of much more interesting. Another useful way to use ChatGPT in your analysis is actually about kind of summarizing the code, summarizing the text for you. So here, for example, I have like a small article about trading stocks after the Fed cut, and you can see it actually mentioned multiple stocks, and it can be tricky. So this article is not so big, but you can have like bigger articles. So what I want to do is just to have like a small summary for this article. I will just copy it. I will pass this to ChatGPT, and I will ask him, okay, summarize this article by stock, add stock symbol and sentiment score, output it in a table. So let's see if it will make it, and it will create for us a nice summary in a table, because it takes quite a lot of time for you just to go through all these text articles to understand, and sometimes you're not interested in all the stocks listed in this article. You're interested only in a couple of them. So as you can see, it created a pretty nice table for us. So you can see here's like a summary, its stock name, stock symbol, basically what I asked him. For every stock we have a bit of a summary of what mentioned in this article, and also have a sentiment score. And we can actually read this summary to see if the score is correct. And I think this is score for -1, when -1 is super negative, to +1, which is very, very positive. And here you have, we can go scroll through this article, find, symbols you're interested in, or maybe you're interested only in longs or shorts at this point, and just to get a better idea, what's in this article without actually reading the entire article. And this very nice summary that can help you to kind of automatize the process for you to get some information from multiple articles at the same time if you want to. And here you can see he's nice enough to get us like a small summary of explanation about how sentiment works, what can you expect with this different ranges. And also, so this is just some summary of like what are the positive sentiment stocks, negative sentiment stocks. And as you can see, it's quite interesting. And what I like about this 01 version is actually you can ask it to edit previous results, and it just almost always does what you ask it for. So it's quite useful. And the last way you can use ChatGPT to analyze to help you analyze charts and just do quantitative analysis is probably my favorite one. With ChatGPT 4.0, what you can do now is to go to your, for example, TradingView screen, just to make a snapshot of like the chart you're looking at. Copy this to ChatGPT, paste it to the ChatGPT 4.0 as a kind of attachment, and ask like, okay, look at this chart and tell me if you spot any patterns in the chart. So let's wait for it and see if it will be able to end up for us with any kind of meaningful information. So as you can see, it started to analyze it, and it suggests that we have like double bottom pattern at like 557,000 level, uptrend after reversal, resistance near 63,000 is probably true, and consolidation phase. And like what I like about this, actually, I didn't actually put any additional information. So it understood itself that like it's for BTC USDT on 1 hour chart frame. It actually spotted the levels from the chart itself from the screenshot, and it did, I think, relatively good job just analyzing kind of this chart, and it's actually outputted me some kind of insights. I'm not 100% sure that it's all correct, but I think it can be good input if you want to have some inspiration about what's going on and like where you can go and what indicators to use. You can just pass it here and ask him for information. It will end up with you with some kind of interesting I think results from the screenshot as well. So I think that's all for this video. Kind of leave a comment if you have any other ways you use ChatGPT for your trading, or if you're quantitative trading. It can be interesting for me to try them as well. So thank you for watching. See you next one.